That's how you can assess the quality of an engine, whether it keeps your tea hot or not. This engine's kind of in the middle.
Welcome to Didcot. Today, we are stepping inside the cab and taking a look at the engine in motion. Meet Fraser, our driver. He is going to talk us through how to control the engine as he takes us up and down the demo line. But before we set off, we need to make sure that everybody is aboard.
But no, we're just sort of waiting. It's really, at this point, it's up to the guards. The guard's responsible for the train. It's the guard's decision when we leave. I'm responsible for the engine, so I have to make sure the engine's safe, the engine's secure. But it's the guard's decision when we leave. Right, are you ready? I'll just start making the vacuum to take the brakes off. Right away. So the guard's given us permission. We're in reverse, do a final check, blow the whistle, open the regulator. So just as we leave the platform, I'm looking down the train just to make sure no one's made any last minute silly decisions. Running this way, we actually go downhill, so once we've got a little bit of speed up, I actually shut the regulator and we just coast downhill. So the big red lever is called the regulator. So this is the lever that controls how much steam goes from the boiler into the cylinders. There's basically, it's a graduated scale, but there's two valves in there. It's got a pilot valve and a main valve. So the pilot valve is for starting. That's the one that we use here almost all the time. We don't need the power, the extra power of the main valve. See, when an engine's working very hard, the regulator will be right the way open, all the way across, maximum steam going from the boiler into the cylinders. So as I'm starting to approach the station, I'm starting to look for my braking points. I want to try and do this nice and smoothly, so I'll just take just a little bit of brake just to slow the engine down slightly, slow the train down slightly. Take it off again before we slow down too much. Just managing the boiler at the same time.
Without the fireman, the engine isn't going anywhere. We will go through the role of the fireman in our next video.
I'll keep taking a look out occasionally. We're going this way, the guard is also watching. The guard's got a brake setter, so if he sees anything on the track, he can stop the train as well. Now about halfway down the demonstration line now, just starting to approach the other station. So we have a sound whistle board on the side of the track, which means I need to sound a warning to people that we're coming into the platform. Like that. Interesting little changes of gradient. Say we're going mainly downhill, it goes flat for a small section, then it goes downhill steeper as we come into the station. So I need to just start my braking for the station now, just to slow the train down, so we come in at a controlled speed. So the idea with braking is that we come in nice and controlled, nice and smooth. So I'm just balancing the brake and the ejector, so taking the brake on and taking the brake off to get us a nice smooth stop in the right place, which is there. Now we stop, we destroy the brake completely, put the engine into mid-gear so it can't go anywhere. And then what we'll do now, because the engine's still quite cold, is we'll open the cylinder cocks, which allows any condensation in the engine, in the cylinders, to drain out. Jeff will open the fire hole doors just to let a bit of heat out. And put a bit of water in to keep the water level topped up and also keep the pressure under control. So I have one lever to take the brakes off, essentially to make a vacuum in the brake system. So it shoots a jet of steam out through a cone that ejects the air, it sucks the air out of the brake system. I can watch that on this gauge here and make sure I have 25 inches of vacuum in the brake system. That means the brakes are fully off on a Great Western engine. And then this valve here is to put the brakes on. So all this does is literally let air into the brake system, right? So it's a fail-safe system. If anything breaks, any of the connections between the carriages were to break, anything else breaks, air comes into the system and the brakes come on. So it's a fail-safe system. And so what I'm doing when I'm braking is just judging how much air I put into the system to bring the train nice and slowly and gradually to a halt. Just to stick it fully in, do an emergency stop, we'd stop, but it wouldn't be particularly smooth. So when I'm coming into the station, I'm trying to judge just how much I'm putting in so that I can come to a nice smooth stop, ideally on what's called a rising vacuum. So that the car, and it's a bit like if you try and brake your car, right? You don't keep your foot on the pedal right the way to the stop. As you come to a stop, you just lift your foot off the pedal very slightly so you come to a nice smooth stop. So this is the thing that allows us to be on this bit of line, right? This is our permission to be here. So because we've got this, we can lock ourselves into the line and no one else can come and unlock us. So we know that another engine can't come along, be on the same bit of line that we're on.
Join us next time as we check in with Jeff, who will talk us through what is involved in being a fireman.